Welcome to the getWITit podcast. I will be your host, Elizabeth. This podcast will focus on the decline of women in technology and how our grassroots organization works with the community to foster relationships and reducing the gap of women in tech. We will be talking with both men and women on how to continue to move the needle forward on those relationships. For more information, please check us out at getWITit.org. Welcome to GetWITit Podcast. Today, our guest is Larry Scott.
Hello.
Hi, Larry.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Before we begin, Larry and I work together at Expeed Software. We got to get a shout out there for Rao.
Yeah, no doubt. They asked us to anyway.
They did.
It's obligatory.
They said make sure Expeed was everywhere on this podcast.
Right.
So Larry is the solutions architect in this role at Expeed Software. See, now that's twice. We are working together on a project, which is going great.
Yeah. Definitely inside joke on that one.
We are 2 weeks into our project. 2 weeks? Has it been 2 weeks?
I mean, when are you counting start date? Because
that's true.
It's kind of like a month.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Depends on who you ask. So
that's true.
We'll go with 2 weeks.
Okay. Makes us seem better.
Less lost.
That's right. That's right. So, all right, Larry, tell us all about how awesome Larry is.
How far do you want me to go back?
I mean, we don't need to go back to, 8 pounds, 6 ounce little baby Jesus, Larry.
Right.
We don't need to go back that far. How about when you were intrigued by IT?
Oh.
You got to tell these people about your background, though, because you are not the normal introverted IT guy.
Maybe. I don't know.
You're not by any means.
Yeah, let's see. My background goes back pretty far. From what I like to call the genesis of like 10 years old.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it started with my parents getting us, when I say us, it's me and my brother. My brother and I are close in age. We're like the same age. He's like 11 months apart from me.
Oh, boy, your poor mother.
Right. No, we were good kids. We were very close. So we didn't, we had our few fights growing up. But
of course, everybody does.
It wasn't a big sibling thing. But yeah, it started back when we got our computer at 10. And I thought I just wanted to get it for games. I was 10 years old. I wanted to.
Do you remember what computer it was?
Yes, I do. It was a Hewlett Packard.
Oh, my God.
The
he
hard
was
drive.
playing Centipede.
The hard drive was a 2 gig hard drive at the time. So I don't remember the processor speed, but I know it's probably low, probably 300 megahertz or something like that, 266. But got that computer. And that's where it kind of started. I just started upgrading that computer, learning more about that computer. And then that naturally puts you into a box of people especially where I grew up at, not a lot of people had computers. So
you're originally from Columbus.
Yeah, born and raised. I haven't been anywhere else.
We talked
been
about
here
this.
my whole life. Oops, sorry. But yeah, just started with that, and then just being intrigued with that, wanting to know how it works, wanting to play games on it. And no one else in our household knew how to work it. And then, the internet wasn't as full-fledged as it is today, so you kind of had to tinker around and figure things out. So that's how it started. That was the genesis. And then going from there, had a group of friends in high school. They were really good, talented artists. I thought I wanted to make video games after that. So I pursued this whole line of work of trying to do web design and logo creation and making games, and I thought I wanted to be more artistic because actually my family are aunts and uncles. They're artists and musicians, so it felt more natural to go that way. So no one was really a techie. And then from there that was in high school. So high school, thought I wanted to do all that, had some friends. Then from there I went to college. I went to DeVry. Wanted to get in and out very quickly, so that's why I chose DeVry. I wanted to get a degree and then go to work and start making money.
Isn't DeVry, didn't they go out of business?
That's ITT.
Oh, that's ITT.
That's where I switched to.
Oh, shit, you went to the place that
You
ran
know
out
why,
of money.
though? Because you could graduate in 2 years. So I was like, I can do this even faster. I'm going to do that, and that was a big mistake. But as I transferred to ITT, I naturally tinkered around with stuff. So I was able to test out of classes and skip ahead quite a bit, especially on the technical side of stuff. I don't think they let you test out any of the prereqs, but any of the technical stuff they let you. So I was stuck and left with just like math, science, and all that type of stuff. But long story short, I ended up dropping out.
I love it.
Landed my first internship from there, though. This guy was great. He showed me everything from a web design standpoint, how to make websites in a professional setting, how to win clients, how to make proposals, and everything, the whole nine. So I remember that was one of his things with hiring me. He said, "You look good in a suit, and I'm going to show you how we win contracts and how we never lose a bid." So he
said you looked good in a suit?
Yeah, that's what he said. So
wow, damn, brother.
It stuck with me, those kind of things.
You have not worn one single suit to the office yet.
It's rare.
Okay.
It's rare. You'll always. Side note, I did pick up an extra 6-pack of black T-shirts. You will see more of those. But I'm like a cartoon character. I wear the same stuff every day. But yeah, he took me under his wing, and he did just that. He showed me exactly how to win clients and everything else. But long story short, he folded up his company due to like some personal reasons, and I was left to either go find a job because I didn't have an education, I didn't have a degree, or I was left to do it on my own. So I chose to do it on my own. And now, as glamorous as that sounds, that was a long road of trial and error. And I thought I knew it at 20, 21 years old. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I had no idea what I was doing. So
nobody knows what they're doing at 21.
Yeah, I was lucky to be alive because I didn't even know how to do that right to wake up.
That's true. That's true.
But having my own company for such a long time allowed me to be a jack of all trades. I had to learn sales. I had to learn marketing. I had to learn how to save money, how to pay people, all this type of stuff. So that's one of the things that's the building blocks of what makes me, I guess, attractive to companies now is that I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, with more of a lenience on the tech side. So that's basically where it all started. And then from there, a newer technology started to come out right around the ending of when we were sunsetting that company. It was me, my brother, and a close friend of ours. We co-founded the web design development company. That was when you could charge a lot and get a lot of money for doing just a static brochure or website. Now you can go to Squarespace, pay $9.
I can do it.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
That's not saying too good.
No, now that's great now, but back then you couldn't do that. There
right.
were no Squarespace, there was no Wix or Weebly, or if there was, they were few and far between. They weren't that known. But so that's why we had to close up shop. Times were changing, so we realized we're going to have to do something else. So I got a little bit more technical. I kind of picked a expertise, and it was Ruby on Rails at that time. It was cool. It was on the rise, and it was just something that I wanted to learn. So there was one other guy in our office space that I used to chat with, and we used to talk about deploying Rails apps and everything else. So yeah, basically landed on Rails. Rails was a way to kind of hone in and learn more about software development and the whole cycle from there. There was one other person in our office space that was interested in it because this was a young framework and language at the time, so there wasn't a whole lot of people. It wasn't as big as it is now. So I used to talk to him a lot, and we would go back and forth because I would have dumb questions, and he was a little bit further than me. But landed on that, and from there, that's when I started doing independent consulting. I went to a company called Tyvara here in Columbus. I worked with them, a group. I worked with another group called Parkbench Digital, a guy that sold his consultancy to Fahlgren Mortine. And then from there, landed a job at Cover My Meds, and that was the longest job I have ever had.
Wait, the one at Cover My Meds?
The Cover My Meds, yeah. It's like the
Meds.
Ohio State University.
Oh boy.
No, landed there, and I think I was there for about close to 3 years. And then in there, that's where the startup, I would say my main startup experience came from, because I've always done apps and everything in between. I'm giving you the 50-cent version because there's a lot more that's in. We can dive deeper or whatever.
50 cent.
Yeah, if you want the dollar version, you got to drop.
I thought maybe you were going to rap for us.
No, I meant literal coins. But you can send money to my PayPal account if you want. I'm just playing. If you want the full story, the downloadable content. But no, that's where.
It's going to hold up in court.
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay.
That's where Script Drop was born from. So my co-founder and I, Nick Potts, it was mainly his brainchild. And him and I worked on a couple things back and forth while we were at Cover My Meds. And Script Drop was the one that stuck. And then today, Script Drop's still booming. I'm not there anymore, but Script Drop's still going. They're still working on things, doing good stuff. And then from there, I'm kind of like back to independent mode, working with companies and trying to lend out my expertise to other people and other companies. But that's how we're here today. And there's a lot in between there that I skipped over. But
that's why he's at Expeed.
Yeah. Long story short,
he got suckered into Expeed, did you not?
Yeah, I got suckered in there from one of our at Script Drop. We were at this thing called Google for Entrepreneurs Exchange down in Nashville, Tennessee. And I met this guy down there, and he was like, he was with the startup. He's like, I'm from Columbus, too. I'm like, wow, there was a lot of people in Nashville at the time from Columbus with their startups. And it was, lo and behold, it was John Sarver. And John Sarver kept in touch ever since. If you know John, he doesn't lose contact with anybody. He'll make his rounds. But
John.
Good old John Sarver. Buzz Killington is his nickname.
Yes.
But now shout out to John Sarver. But he reached out to me and told me about what he was working on, and it sounded cool. So here I am today, working with the group over at Expeed Software.
With the coolest.
Yeah, the coolest kids in Columbus.
Yeah, somebody that we mutually know that you might have talked to today said, I can't imagine that team working in one room together.
Yeah. It is something. Well, we get serious. We do.
We do.
But it is a lot of fun.
We get serious around lunchtime, and we have to decide what we're having for lunch.
Yeah, which is like the 3 or 4 restaurants in walking distance.
Yeah.
The no soda challenge.
Oh my gosh. That's a tough one for me. I love soda. I'm trying not to drink it. It's making me a crabby individual.
Yeah. It's a hard one to kick.
It is. So, okay, back it up.
Mm-hmm.
We started at Genesis, and now we have to back it up. You're very unique, and you need to say why you're so unique. Why are you so unique?
Because my skin color.
No. Oh, my God. No. Although, I will say, he did pull up a family photo, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
Why are you unique?
I don't know. Why am I unique?
Oh, my God. Larry, you're being modest.
No, I really don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, so Larry does these startups, and then he gets them really successful. And then he does other things like training videos, and startup apps.
Apps, everything in between. Like I said, this is kind of the stuff that I glanced over. But yeah, I've had my fair share of starting things and getting them to what I call mild successes. They're good for what I deem as success. But yeah, I don't know. What do you want to know about?
What do you mean?
What do you want? You want
like that's pretty tough.
It is tough, but it comes with a lot of trial and error over the years. A lot of people don't have the same drive or let alone want to even fool around with this type of stuff, but I naturally am interested in bootstrapping a company, building something, especially with software engineering, this talent, I guess you would say, this training, building an app, getting it successful. At least, like I said, what I deem successful. My thing for success is, will it bring me $10,000 a month? That's what I try to work backwards from. But that's how I know if it's successful or not. If I have a plan to get to 10K very quickly, that's success to me. Okay. I really, deep down inside, I don't have a goal of building a huge company or anything like that. I'm fine because I'm more of a loner. So I don't like to I don't like to have to account for everyone else. It sounds selfish, but
this is the guy who's got 4 kids.
Yeah, I have 4 kids. I have enough to account for. I don't want to have to account for anybody else.
4 kids and a wife, and he's not even 30 years old.
I am 30.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm over 30.
Oh, barely.
So, 33.
Okay, barely. Recently. Okay, so we're talking startups.
Mm-hmm.
What are the majority of startups that you've been involved in that have women involved?
Oh, that's a good question. The two major ones, which I would say Script Drop and Cover My Meds, they've had a focus on hiring women and making sure women are at the forefront. So, for instance, at Script Drop, that was deliberately what we wanted to do, is to make sure diversity was up at the forefront. Not just women, but, people of all shapes, sizes, colors, backgrounds, whatever. And if you ask Nick, I know I'm kind of speaking, I don't necessarily want to turn this into a Script Drop show, but there was a lot of good things that we were trying to do there. And they still are. But that was what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure everything was represented. We didn't want to have this, what they call group thought. So we wanted to kind of get outside that bubble. And we didn't want to hire from Cover My Meds because there would be a lot of group thought there too, of like how the health industry, should be shaped and molded, because we had this experience from Cover My Meds. So, of course, him and I are from Cover My Meds, and naturally people are going to see, like, okay, what are these two up to? Maybe I should check it out. And that's kind of how it happened. Like, people get interested. They want to join a newer startup because Cover My Meds grew and they sold. But that's kind of how it happened. But we were deliberately trying to go for things like, for instance, on our radar was, what is that group called? I just thought of it. I want to. Oh, Girl Develop It, right? Are you familiar with that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think from there's a couple people I heard about it from, like Jan Milosh at Cover My Meds and Jennifer Cable. I think they had some involvement with it, but I remember hearing about it from them. So we were trying to look at groups like that. There's
Code
also
Girls?
Girl Develop It.
Oh, there's Code Girls too.
Code Girls? I'm not familiar with that one, but see,
there's this wonderful organization called getWITit.
Right. I think there's a missed opportunity with getWITit.
Really?
You need to create a GitHub repository with GitWIT with it. Trust me, for all the female engineers, they'll get it.
Okay, they'll get it.
They'll get with it.
They'll get with it.
But it's cheesy. It's corny, I know. But yeah, so women were. I worked going back to Cover My Meds. I worked with really good engineers there, female engineers. I remember being on one of the teams that I was on. We had this engineer that came from OSU, and actually my brother worked with her as well. So she went from OSU to Cover My Meds, and now I think she's at another company. But very smart engineer. Cover My Meds had a couple test engineers that I remember back then that they were very smart people, and they're leading the charge. Like over at Gladden Community House, they're giving time there and teaching people on the STEM stuff. So I appreciate what they're doing. So females and tech have always been.
I wasn't at Expeed yet, but that community house you just said, we helped partner with them to bring some young women to the getWITit conference that was held in September. We did a youth track, and it was focused around those girls attending those STEM classes at those community houses.
Oh, that's nice. My wife's aunt works at Gladden.
Oh, shit. I wish I would have known you in September. Maybe that wouldn't have been so stressful.
Yeah. So Gladden, I'm been in that ecosystem for a while. Of Gladden, got to see. You'll probably still catch me there, because if my wife's aunt's having trouble with her computer, I'm the first person.
So you're IT support too.
Unofficially, they were giving me the stink eye when I went there last time. Like, who is this dude that keeps coming up here and messing with our computers? Oh, because I wasn't authorized. She would just call me on her cell, like, can you come check it out? And I would go up there and check it out. So I don't know if I'm allowed.
Oh, they were like, look at the
anymore.
creepy guy coming to check out our computer.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, that's cool. Look at that. I got to write that. I got to take note of that.
Well, now you're going to use me for my resources?
I am. That's how you get...
I feel used.
You should.
This is what they call networking, right?
Correct.
One-way networking.
This is how people get things done in the community.
Now I get it. Get it.
So, yeah, that's how we got to move the needle forward, right?
Yeah, I like that the royal we.
Yeah. So, actually, you've had success with women. Well, he works with me.
Yeah, I have a wife, too, so I've had some.
Oh, that's right. And he's got 4 kids, so
I've had some success with women.
That's some success, I guess.
One in particular, yeah.
Yeah. Girls, boys?
1 girl, 3 boys.
Holy shit, your poor wife.
From ages 14 all the way down to 2.
Really?
Yeah. It's fun every day.
I know. You showed me a video the other day. It was pretty funny.
You didn't say it was funny.
And you want to know what else I said? Thank God I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah. And then my wife has a pretty close family, so they're usually in the mix too. So.
Yeah, no. We had a discussion about that, in-laws and mixing. Yes, we'll leave it at that. So Cover My Meds has some great females. Mm-hmm. Jennifer Cable. Do you know Deb Bitson? I
do not know Deb, or at least I do not recall. Let me look her up on LinkedIn.
You should.
Stalk her on LinkedIn.
Just stalk her on LinkedIn. She
What's
loves
it, Deb?
BITZEN, I believe.
Oh, okay.
They helped with the youth track, getting it up and running for getWITit. They did a fabulous job. They also do a lot in the community. Gladden Community House. They do an hour of Code It.
Okay.
Which is focused around the younger age of STEM. Pretty awesome. They do a great job.
Yeah, and don't forget the ever famous Susie Bureau as well.
There you go.
Startup culture. What do you want to call it? Ecosystem extraordinaire. And we call Jay Klaus kind of like her counterpart, the male version of Susie. That's
okay. I was going to say.
No, but yeah, Jay and Susie, known them for a long time.
They're still at Cover My Meds, right?
Jay isn't. Jay's got his own thing. Jay was never at Cover My Meds. I think he was at. He might have been at Crosschecks Olive for a little bit, but then Susie, I think, yeah, she's still at Cover My Meds. But you wouldn't be able to tell that from like her Facebook or Instagram. She's jet set. So
I love it. See, she's on the plane with us women who are in first class taking over the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely doing more than my little Columbus, Ohio Rev 1 trips to Worthington and back. That's it.
I know. You're excited about those trips to Worthington.
Oh, yeah. Traffic is nice.
Larry complains every day he comes in.
Yeah.
About the traffic.
I like working from home.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Most people do. Okay, so script drop. I always said it backwards. Were you successful in getting women or diversity to the table?
Yeah. One of our first hires out of the gate, besides Nick and I, obviously, we were employees of the company, was Amanda Way.
Oh, my God, I love Amanda.
Yeah.
She's going to be on the show.
Oh, is she?
She is.
Shout out to Amanda.
I know. We had coffee, and we were like, why did we get coffee? Why didn't we go to a bar? Because that's more like our style. So. Yeah,
Amanda, fun thing about Amanda is she was the voiceover person that we used all the time. And so I was basically in his spot where I'm pointing
Darren?
to my left. Yeah, Darren's spot. And I would be doing that, and it would be funny to hear her outtakes because they were always like, dang it, so and I would make little clips out of them and distribute them.
So what were you doing, making commercials?
Yeah, voiceover, like commercials, sometimes like presentations that we'd give to investors or potential pharmacies.
So you were the Darren in that situation.
I was the Darren in that situation, yeah. So we were recording stuff, and she was always the voiceover. She was the talent, the voiceover artist.
She's so cute. I love her. They're here in Rev 1,
yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, for now. I think they're growing, so I'm pretty sure they're going to leave this spot here soon. But, yeah, for now, they're still in Rev 1.
Okay, so let's talk about what you do currently. Because our company they want lots of love. This is the Expeed Software love show.
Yeah, so solutions architect.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means, but, I'll tell you what I do.
Okay.
I don't know if the title fits.
It's just a fancy way. It's a fancy way of saying what I do. I just manage work.
Right.
Right?
You push cards from the left side to the right.
Exactly. And then I am sitting in meetings, and I have a WTF look on my face.
The whole time.
The whole time. Because I don't hide my emotions on my face very well. So when we have Zoom calls, I have to shut my camera off because there's the look.
Leave it on mute the whole time.
Yeah, and I've been told that this look I'm not very good at. It really is exactly what's going through my mind.
Yeah. So does that sum up your Scrum Master's move the card from left to right? Your Scrum Master
That's the technical side of it. The other stuff, it's not fun.
Oh, serious question. Do they tell you, do they give you different systems like a Jira or something to train on, or is it left up to interpretation? When you're in your Scrum training, like what do they do? Edit that one out.
And
cut.
Here we go on the reverse of the interview.
All right.
What do? They pretty much, no, there's no set, like Jira board. Lots of people use different things. There's Trello. John has Trello for something. He uses Google Planner for something else, which is not good, Microsoft Planner, because it makes a email. He was telling me it ruffled his feathers, actually.
Rustled his jimmies.
It did. So, Jira, there's all sorts of, what's my friend up at, Tom likes? He likes, and I called it a foot disease. Taiga. Sounds like a foot disease,
yeah.
Right? And so there's a whole bunch of different resources you can use to communicate and show visibility to the work that the project, what you're doing for a project.
Gotcha.
It's really up to you.
That's cool.
They do not say, here's your Scrum Master certification, now go forth and use Jira.
Well, what about during the training? You can use whatever you want?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. There's more to it than just the board.
I know that, but
okay.
I didn't know if there were. They have to pick something, right?
I will be honest. Larry and I started a project, and I got the painter tape out and did a team board. It was called a team board.
Yeah.
On the whiteboard with backlog, in progress, and done, with some Post-it notes and some painter's tape, and we were old school.
Yeah, because there was a lot of confusion going on, but it worked well.
It did work well.
Until we got the electronic version and we transferred everything over. Nice, colorful sticky notes on a
We did. We even had epics written on the sticky notes to reflect the task. I mean, we were.
It was legit.
It was legit. We could have taught a Scrum class at that point. That's how legit we were.
We were taking action. That's what really mattered,
Yep. We were taking action, moving the needle forward on these projects because we were not moving forward.
I think I hijacked your question, too. Like you asked me a question like 5 minutes ago.
I did, and now I can't remember.
I know.
I asked you what you did. Solutions architect.
Right,
there we go.
Right.
See? It'll come
Amazing.
back. It'll come back to me.
It was on your Scrum board.
In my brain.
No, solutions architect. Basically, it's like a graduated version of a developer, right? Where you just think about the project from a higher level, like what technologies are we going to use? You kind of walk through the whole workflows and just make sure you have a really good understanding from the top down. And if it requires me to jump in there and write code, I'm more than happy to do that. But from a high level, it's just making sure I understand what's going on with the project, what technologies are used, maybe what cloud platform we're going to use, triggered, and everything else from that standpoint, and interfacing with the client as well. So if there's anything that needs to be relayed from a technical side over to the client, I'll do that too.
I was shaking my head when Larry said cloud platform because that was like a whole day of our lives. It's the cloud platform discussion.
Cloud platforms and PowerPoints.
Oh, my God.
And long hours.
And long hours.
A lot of distraction.
I know this is going to be shocking, and this is going to totally shock you, Darren, because we know each other so well now. But I can be very distracting in a room. And so Larry was working hard, and I was pinging him during us working just random stuff, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm just a distraction. But I like to be a distraction. But we got it done. It only took
we got
6
it done,
hours.
and the PowerPoint was black and white.
It was.
It had no styling.
There was nothing fancy about it whatsoever.
But that's what was required, though.
Right. And we were told not to make it fancy. So we were good there. We were good. Okay, so how many... Oh, you said you don't really use this term. Okay, so solutions architect is the guy that does the high-level design planning of the project in the steps that it's going to take to get it from start to finish.
Yeah, that's the Larry Scott definition. If you go on Google, you might find something different. But yeah, that's how we're defining it here.
Okay,
here
that's
on
fine.
This podcast.
That's
today.
fine. I mean, we got to do the Larry Scott style. All right. So this you might not know this question.
Okay.
How many women solutions architect do you know?
That I do not know.
Okay, he's not Googling it, folks.
I'm not Googling it. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to sound like I'm holier than thou. But, yeah, I don't know too many, or any, really. I know developers, I know test engineers, but no solutions architects.
How many Scrum Masters you know?
With the official certification, 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo, people, that's me.
That makes you real legit.
Mm-hmm. Sure does. Sure does.
Yeah, I don't know if like a solutions architect is really like, I don't know. Is it really a thing?
It's really a thing.
I'm not trying to
don't you have
downplay
business
my
cards?
position. No, I don't have.
You should talk to Sita about that. You need business cards.
Yeah, solutions architect.
See, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it is a real thing. At least that's what the internet tells me, and we know how that goes.
And Google's always right.
Here's a question. What the heck does a solutions architect do anyway? Good question.
Good question. Larry can answer that. You should answer that.
Yeah. Core question.
Because you know from a high level.
Yeah.
Larry, do you do anything outside of playing on the computer, building startups, working at Expeed? We had a really great discussion today about iPads.
Yeah, follow tech in general. Yeah, iPads, minis, football. My son was in football, so that's always great. Video games, watching tons of YouTube videos.
Yeah. Side note here, total side note. You can leave it in here. Larry thinks we should videotape these because he thinks it would be hilarious to watch.
Darren's looking like...
Darren's like, are you kidding
That's
me
too
right
much
now?
work.
This is like to deal with you for hours on end. I can't do it.
Like, he already has to hear your voice, but then he has to see the face at the same time. It's like, oh, that's too much.
I know. That's awful. You would love it.
We just totally spoke on his behalf. We put words in his mouth.
We did.
But no, that's I would say from a typical tech person, I probably enjoy all the stereotypical tech stuff. Reading more about tech stuff, playing video games, the occasional Mountain Dew, Sody Pop here and there. But yeah, so I usually spend video games as a social thing now. You know, most people go out and they go to functions and events. Mine is video games. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to fight traffic.
So you like video games?
Yeah, as a social thing to link up with friends.
You know my boy Chris Volpe? Have we had this conversation?
Yeah, we've
before?
had this conversation. I've listened to the podcast too.
My BFF, Chris.
Yeah. Multivarious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know of him. I don't know. I haven't officially met him or anything, but definitely an interesting background.
Chris Volpe.
Cool
we'll
company.
go visit him. You and I will go visit him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that yet, but we'll go visit him.
Maybe if he listens to this episode, he'll know. So
if he is a damn good friend, he will listen to this episode. And he'll give me 5 stars.
You hear that, Chris? 5-star rating. ASAP.
That's right. That is
Elizabeth
right.
is hilarious. She makes the content so engaging. Want to keep listening.
Yeah, I do have to say though that Larry did want to know, wanted to prep before podcast, and because I know Larry, I was like, no, we're just gonna wing it.
I heard that's for all the guests.
Pretty much.
Because I know. Yeah,
I
sure.
wanted to make you feel special for a minute there.
You say that to all the guests.
That's right. That's right. Larry is a big fan of mine. He's listened to all my podcasts so far, right, Larry?
Yeah, I would say you have an even bigger fan, though. We seen not too long ago.
Oh, my gosh, you're right. I do.
You have a super fan.
Oh, my God, I do have a super fan. We just found out. I know. Darren's looking at me very concerned, like concerned for my life. You should be, Darren. When we leave here at night, I'm going to need you to, like, make sure you've got, like, your club out or something. We could get
your
tackled.
nightstick.
We could get tackled in the parking lot because I was practically tackled in this particular office one day.
Yeah, you did. You had a super fan. They were upset that they're not going to be able to attend the event. But yeah, it was interesting to see though. How did it make you feel? That's the real question. That to know, let me frame it like this.
Ooh.
How did it make you feel to know that the work you're doing is not being looked over? You know, it's people are actually recognizing it.
Oh, okay. Well, when you say it like that, it made me feel really good.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. Yes.
That's awesome.
We work hard here at getWITit.
Working hard or hardly working?
Well, depends what day of the week it is. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
If it's Friday, you can forget about it. Any day that ends with a Y.
That's right. That's right. John says that a lot to us.
Yeah, it's very common. But, yeah, you're a super fan. I see that you're not very active on social media, though. You know, I'm always harping on you about that, especially with this brand. I put it in air quotes because if you're not active on social media or you're not blasting yourself out there, how can it be a brand?
I know. Larry gave me some great advice about how I should be tweeting and Instagramming, and Darren's shaking his head like yes. But old people, they don't do that shit. Oh, they do? Oh, Darren's like
they do if they're building a brand.
I'm trying. I'm just not very good picture-wise. I got to have, like, the angle. Like, people take pictures down by their belly button, and you get, like, the triple chin and, you know, up the nose kind of thing. I need to be high up, like, 10 feet high.
A couple filters in.
Exactly. That's what I need the Instagram for, so it filters out all of that and Photoshop me onto another body.
No, but you should, at the very least, I think, take a picture with each of your guests.
Okay, we'll take a picture after this, and I'm going to post it.
Why does it have to be me?
I'm
just
and then I want
suggestions.
you to post it on your social media.
Why don't you post it on yours? Don't you have a podcast social media? No? Look, she's confused. Did I stump you?
Do we have a podcast social media?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either. Oh,
look, I'm hijacking this podcast.
Oh my God, Larry's totally hijacking. Did you
Or maybe you gave me the key. That's what it was.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'll teach you a few things.
Okay, teach me a few things while we're busy
at work.
At work.
Air quotes work.
Right.
No, but yeah, there's just some simple stuff though I think you could do and that would make a big impact. You don't have to get too crazy with it.
No?
No.
Oh, good.
I mean, something as simple as taking a picture. I mean, how often do you record your...
We release every other Monday, but now that we're in December, we'll be taking the holiday season off.
So you're stacking your recordings up, right? I mean, this people know that. Yeah. This isn't a thing where they don't know that these are pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded? Yeah. I got asked today if I pre-recorded, and I said, yes, I have to, because...
If you get sick?
Or you get a Larry Scott who can't come, or... you know what I mean? Like, you never know.
Yeah.
So, and if you're smart, right, Darren? If you're smart, you...
Get a Darren.
You get a Darren, one. And then two, do you want to throw in an ad in there for yourself right there? Okay.
This podcast was sponsored by...
Then you get a, what's it called? An inventory.
Backlog.
Right? Like a backlog, yeah.
Scrum Master.
Come on now. I know, right? I didn't get drinks on my way in. I screwed this up today, Darren.
Let me illustrate that since, you're not recording video and people couldn't see it.
Correct.
No, but she was looking at Darren, and Darren was lost. And Darren was like, I have no idea what you're talking.
I meant like backlog. An inventory. I mean, yeah, you knew what I meant, right? No. Darren said no. But you did.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah. So,
it's not uncommon
a smart podcast person always has something in reserve so that if something should happen, snowstorm, ice storm, big conference. Although
selling tickets.
Darren was there with us at the September 12th conference. Mm-hmm. And did a fabulous job, and I still owe him some names on some videos. And I'm pretty sure I owe him a lot, and I just haven't gotten to it.
So, Darren, you shot the whole thing? You edited it? Video? Is that what it was?
We did like a room. We went to Darren.
Oh, okay. The audio, video wizard.
And I got to be honest with you. I look extremely fat in my video, so we're going to have to Photoshop that.
I don't think you Photoshop in videos.
Oh, you can't?
Like, it's use something else, After Effects or something.
Like, we might as well put a Homer Simpson body on me. Larry doesn't even have anything to say.
No, I know when to be quiet.
All right, Larry. Isn't it fun working with me?
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
We do. Mm-hmm. Here, we'll get a picture taken. We'll put it on social media so you'll see me and Larry. I'll put it on the getWITit.
Whatever you think will be the best.
There we go.
Yeah, you schedule them up. Should you post it now or should you post it when
it releases? No, I'm
going to
post it when this releases.
There you go.
Because then we'll be like...
See, but we missed all kinds of content from behind the scenes. You could have been recording stuff, dripping it out. I'm going to have to teach you something.
All right. Do you need to come hang out with us on our podcast?
No, that's too much work.
Oh.
I can drop you some nuggets, and you can use them however you want. And I'm pretty sure Darren has heard these things or knows of these things, and he's probably like,
he is the expert.
He's probably told you, and you probably didn't listen because that's how you do.
Darren shaking his head, yes.
See? I know what's going on.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, what other branding, promoting do you want to do for yourself there, Larry Scott? Sounds like a famous athlete or something.
There is. If you search for it, I think it's like a bodybuilder. Like an old-time bodybuilder, Larry Scott. Yeah, bodybuilder. Died in March 8th of 2014.
Oh,
that's now I get why people used to call me Larry the Legend. It just came full circle. So today I learned. But no, actually I don't have nothing to push other than Expeed Software. I have some things that I'm working on my own in terms of trainings, and I'm starting a YouTube channel with just teaching everything I know on YouTube.
You are?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of camera equipment and everything else. So I've got a couple of those episodes done. I need to, shot, not done as in done, but I need to edit them. So
when am I going to be on your video?
I don't know. Right now it's just a solo thing.
Oh.
So I don't really have guests or anything.
Why not?
Because I'm just teaching everything I know from like web development, business, startup, software as a service type stuff. So, because when I'm a part of panels or something like that and I hear questions, I'm like, man, there's really an opportunity for me to at least shed some light on some stuff that I've been through. So, and I enjoy doing it. So, hopefully somebody would get some use out of it.
We'll get Larry to commit to speaking at getWITit.
Okay. Hopefully there's a plan for that.
Maybe I'll just drop it on you.
Yeah,
drop
the day
like
before.
It's hot.
The day before, like, hey, you're speaking. You're going on in 5 minutes.
I get it all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Good.
Yeah, I'm down for that. You guys hear it first. If she doesn't put me on there, and then you know who to blame. You heard it here.
Oh, that's true. You heard it here.
Maybe you want to edit that out.
Well, Larry.
It's been real.
It's been super real.
I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So we're going to get our picture taken now, Darren. We should do a 3Z.
You know what? I totally think Darren needs to be on these.
I know, right? Darren, you need to join in because we have a great time.
Because we asked, Darren is here, but people don't get to see or hear Darren. So you know what? Let's keep it running like that. Like maybe Darren really, there's no such person as Darren. For all they know.
Yeah. They could just be thinking like I'm just winging this by myself.
Like that unbox therapy guy.
Yeah.
He had that person or behind the scenes that used to do the camera, and they never did a face reveal, so everybody had to guess who it was. So that'll be
that's
Darren will be that person on this podcast.
There you go.
So I think his voice is stronger, not heard.
There you go. And you know what? Every time that I have done a podcast, well, normally if I have like a special host with me, like Angie,
a special co-host,
yeah, it makes me think of the Saturday Night Live skit with the two ladies on the radio show with the sweaty.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so. That's every time. Every time I come and do this, that's what I think about, are those two women.
You know what? You know what I appreciate during this whole podcast? I think you kept it G-rated this whole
I did pretty good, didn't I?
That's impressive.
I know, right?
Maybe it was all the soda.
I haven't had any.
No, I'm saying, like, that's why you were unable to keep it under control, because all the soda.
That could be. That could be.
You're not drinking it. You can actually contain.
I'm just drinking.
You didn't know
my
I was
water.
a doctor too, huh?
Yeah, I know. Gosh, Larry, you got so much going on.
Right.
All right, one more shout out for
Larry Scott
and
Scott3.com. There's nothing on there. But it's like basically a link to LinkedIn or something.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, go there
Larry
if you
Scott.
want.
And Expeed Software.
Expeed Software, definitely.
Yeah, it's our boy Rao.
Mr. Rao.
Mr. Rao. And check out expeedsoftware.com, right? That's our website, expeedsoftware.com.
Yep.
Right? Larry's double checking to make sure.
That is correct.
And, of course, check out getwittit.org. And if you are looking for a job, contact Larry. Don't contact me.
Yeah. Even though they'll probably have your information more readily available than mine.
They probably will.
Yeah, contact me.
Go to Larry. He's got more power than I do. All right. Well, thanks, Larry.
No problem. Thanks
Don't be shocked if you come back again.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Everybody have a great day, and thanks for listening to Get With It Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. We will see you next time, and feel free to drop us a line at getwitit.org.